In this video, I am going to show you the differences between the brand new cordless Miele DuoFlex HX1 stick vacuum to my older Miele Compact C2 container vacuum. So let me go over these two vacuums real quick, and then we'll put the two of them to the test on a variety of surfaces. Now, I've had this canister vacuum for about 7 years. It is the best vacuum I have ever used. It is still fantastic, even though it is very well loved. It comes with a variety of accessories that are attached to it, and then it has its main all-surface accessory and one additional attachment that you can use just on hardwood floors. It also has 6 different power levels depending on what you're vacuuming, and you have 5 levels of height that you can switch to by simply stepping on this pedal. It has incredible HEPA filtration, and one of the best parts about Miele in general is they last forever, and you can definitely take these in and get them repaired when needed. Now, the Duoflex is totally different. It is a cordless stick vacuum. It comes with a ton of accessories depending on which Duoflex you get. I got the Total Care, so it came with the most accessories. All the Duoflexes come with these 3 additional attachments and the main base. The extra adds this fantastic, really soft attachment that you can use on any surfaces. And then the Total Care has these 3 attachments. This crevice tool is fantastic for getting into hard spaces as it bends. This hose lets you have a lot more control from your vacuum. And this is the best upholstery cleaner I have ever used. And as you can see, this is filled with hair right now. I left it like that on purpose as I want to show you how easy it is to clean the Duoflex. Both Duoflex rollers pop out super easily. With the big one, you just twist the side and it comes right out. And just be sure when you lock it into place, it aligns with the unlock button first, and then you lock it. Really easy. And then with the small roller, it just has this little unlock. You don't really need much of a fingernail for it. You could use something else too. And when you do that, this whole side pops open, just like that. It pulls right out. And then once you have this all clean, it can just pop back onto that outside piece, just like that. And then you just twist it right back in. Get it to hook at the end. It's not always easy, but you'll hear it when it snaps. Push this down, clean off the last of the fuzz, and it's good to go. Now, the Electro Plus is not nearly as friendly, but with this one, I mostly just use scissors and yank it out. It doesn't pop out cleanly. But you can also see it's a much larger roller. It's more substantial. It definitely sucks up a lot, and I don't actually have to clean this as often. And while there are many more differences I could cover, I really want to get to the most important thing, which is how well this cordless upright vacuum can vacuum compared to the really fantastic plug-in canister vacuum. But the last thing I want to cover is that this too has fantastic filtration. It has a filter right at the top. You just pop these 2 buttons and you can twist this out, and you can see the filter is right here. This is easy to replace, and what I really love is that it has this silicone seal around the sides, so nothing's coming out. It really does a great job. But when you pop open the canister to dump it, that is definitely a moment where you're going to get more stuff back into the air. So if you are going for Miele specifically for keeping everything out of the air, I would definitely stick with the upright bagged canisters. Whether you're doing Miele or a different vacuum, the bagged canisters are really important if you don't ever want anything back in your air. As for vacuuming, I'm going to show how well they both vacuum with their main bases. This one and this one. First test is medium pile carpet. I'm going to do 1 pass moving over and back on it for each and see how well these do. And I want to show how they spin real quick. And I would say they are both just as noisy. Let's go. There's a little bit right between them where neither vacuumed, but this is fully clean, and so is this. That is really impressive, especially for the cordless stick vacuum. Okay, same test on low pile carpet. And it's a little harder on this carpet, but I can definitely see where neither of them ran, right here and right here. So far, the only real difference between the vacuuming on these two is that this one's larger, so it vacuums more in one go. Now we are on a rug, and I already know that this is a weak spot for the Duoflex. It has a hard time sucking up the rug and making the spinners stop, but we'll see how it does. I'm in the middle of the rug, and as for the C2, it also would have a hard time, except that I can change its levels and lower the suction. So I would run it on a 4 on this carpet, and I would put it down to carpet suction mode. So this one is much better prepared for this. With the Duoflex, I can't change any of the settings, minus vacuuming at a slightly lower level. So let's see how they both go with one pass. It did vacuum, but as you can see, it stopped spinning. When it stops spinning, you can start back up by turning it off and back on, but this attachment has a really hard time with carpet. Now let's do the Electro Plus. Now because I had it higher up, you can see it's not vacuuming as well. So I'm going to turn the suction back up and see if it can handle it and do one more pass. I'm putting the suction back up to maximum. C2 is also having a hard time. You can still see some of that dust and debris right here. It's just a little more stained. So I'm going to try with upholstery cleaners. And that worked great. On this one, I probably could have lowered the level one more time on the main piece, but I'm going to do it with the upholstery cleaner as well, just for comparison. And that definitely got everything out. You can also see how much stronger the canister vacuum is by how much it sucked up the carpet in the process of doing that. But this one definitely sucked up the carpet a bit as well. So when it comes to rugs, it is hard with both of these vacuums. The best one still is the canister. If I put this down to level 3, it will get most of it. The reason why that was so hard is that I had dumped all of the tiny dust that was in this canister for the test. So it was just a lot of very tiny debris in one spot, and that was a lot for this to handle. Okay, final test on a hard surface. And there is nothing there on either side. They both did a perfect job on hard surfaces. And as a final piece, I just want to show them with an accessory on stairs. I love using this accessory on everything. And with this, I really can just walk up the stairs. And my favorite part about that is I'm not limited at all by pulling up a canister or dealing with a cord. And if I wanted to go with a bigger nozzle, this attachment works great too. Now with the canister vacuum, the really large piece would work, but it's much more awkward. And I really only have this attachment, but it does work really well. So I just vacuumed the left side of all these stairs with the Duoflex and the right side with the C2. And I would say that you really can't tell which side I vacuumed with which. They worked really well. I do think the canister vacuum just did a slightly better vacuuming, but really not much of a difference. Like I said, I love Miele vacuums, and I think both of these vacuums have a place. This is for my heavy-duty cleaning, and it's definitely on my main floor where I have most of my carpets. But what I love about this one is I can vacuum anything, anytime, anywhere. I'm not limited by a cord. This one's just a great grab and go vacuum that also has the quality suction that you have learned to expect in a canister vacuum. So I am incredibly impressed with the Duoflex, and if I were deciding between these two, I would lean towards the Duoflex just because it is so much more convenient. I hope this video helped you make a decision.